1, 2, number 1, number 2, number 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then these blue ones that I've circled are ones that I'm going to do together. So to find what these are called hash marks, the information is here. Okay, what if there are missing hash marks? So this is the little problem you have to solve. Range divided by hash mark. Now your range is the big number, 18, minus the small number. So that's easy enough, you can do it in your head, but we're gonna write it out anyway. Range, 18 minus 0. 18 is your range, okay? And then the amount of hash marks. Well, to find your hash marks, it's the red writing here. You start at 0. You start at 0, and every time you jump, 1, 2, and you keep jumping until you get to end. So put my pencil on 0, or not 0, it's the start, right? You start at 0, you start at 3, you start at 9. So every jump, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have a hash mark value of 6. Okay, and then now we can find this. Range divided by hash mark. So range is 18 divided by the hash mark value 6. 6 goes into 18 3 times. So that 3 is what we call the rate of increase. And that's how much each hash mark goes up by. So now we can start filling these in. 0 plus 3, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and then we check by ending at the right number, 18. So on Schoology for blank 1, because that has a red square with the number 1 by it, you are going to type in 6. So if you guys got 6 for blank 1, you are doing it right. Number 2. Wait, we're not doing number 2 together. Okay, number 4. So this is one that is there we go. Fractions. Okay, so here we have to find we are between 0 and 1. So there are consecutive numbers on the low and the high end of our number line. We have to find the fractional amounts. And to do this, we are still counting the hash marks, and that's what's going to be the denominator. So my denominator here, here, and here, to find that, Jordan, I beat about 2 more minutes, all right, I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that 4 becomes our denominator. 1, 2, 3. Our numerator starts at 1 and just goes up. All right, and then you can again check yourself. This would be 4 over 4, which is just 1. So we can confirm that is what should be there. This is blank 4. So on Schoology over here, you typed in blank 1. On blank 4, you should have 2/4. Now, do not reduce that. We haven't learned how to reduce. You guys all probably are thinking to yourselves that is 1/2, but please don't reduce it because I didn't write it in Schoology that way. Okay, so you guys on question 1, number 4, between 0 and 1, if you have 2/4, then you're doing that one right. Number 6. Okay, so we're not going to do number 5 together. But keep in mind, this is between 2 and 3. Okay, so there it's 0 and 1. So make sure that you know that this is not just a fractional amount, but it's a whole number and some fractional amount. That's my warning there. So here, your range goes from 32 to minus 12. Range is the big minus small. However, here your small number is actually a negative. So you're doing 32 minus a negative amount, which is not something we have learned how to do yet this year. So instead of thinking about it as big minus small, you have to think about it as just distance. The amount of distance between 32 and negative 12. And the best way for me to give you this here would be somewhere around this area. We would have 0, right? Closer to 12 and 32. So that would mean that this is 12 and that's 32. So then rather than 32 minus 12, for this problem, for your range, you actually have to do range big plus small. Okay, so 32 plus 12 will give you your range of 44. Okay, it's the only time on here that happens, so I give it to you. Now your hash mark is going to be the same. Right? Your hash mark value. Jordan, is it pressing? I'm sorry, what's up?
What are we supposed to be doing this on?
Paper, notability, desk, just somewhere that when I have the Schoology's made, you can type your answers in. Yes, Sam?
Are we supposed to be doing question
1 and 2 are your work for today.
Okay, so we could do either one.
Yeah, either order. Either order.
Which one will we do though?
I'm working on question 1, then I'm going to do question 2. And they'll both be up before end of class, and then you can have them all day. But hash marks is where we're looking for, right? We're trying to get, there we are, we're trying to get this range divided by hash mark because we need to know how much this is increasing by. So that's what we're working towards. Hash marks, we've got to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Uh-oh. That one's not going to work. Yeah, it's not going to work. Pooh. How did I mess that up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that's definitely not going to work. Don't worry about this one. Don't worry about that one. Yikes. Yeah, the negative to positive. I should have had a range of either 40 or 48, and I hit it right in the middle. I got 44. So number 6 is going to. There is a way to do it, but it would be very difficult for you guys because it's really, really hard. If you want to try and get it, I'll tell you what the answer is. If you get everything else right, you got nothing else to do. Try and figure out what goes in 6. But it would take me some time to figure out what it is. So if you can figure it out and tell me, I'll be real impressed. But as far as I'm concerned, I wrote a bad question. So this is in the video. You guys are hearing it from the horse's mouth. We will. I'll address that. Okay. So now we're moving on to page 10 here. Okay.
I don't think the point of this was, I don't understand question 1, but I get question B. Like the page.
But give me 5 minutes here. All right. So question 2 is all about adding the positive. This is the more fresh material here. We went outside. We walked along number lines. We've learned how to group together. This is actually page 10 and 11. We've learned how to now group together the positive and negative integers and start at your what? Bleeding? Good. I was hoping that I would turn around and there wouldn't be any Band-Aids up there too. How bad? Like, is it like dripping or like? Amanda, we go run over to Miss Corrado and get a Band-Aid. I know she has it. Just stay there and like get a Band-Aid on it and go wash it out. All right. Amanda, Miss Corrado has Band-Aids. Thank you very much for doing this. We can't just stay there. Just stay there. She'll get you a Band-Aid. I mean, like it doesn't hurt, right? You'll live. She's getting you a Band-Aid so you don't bleed all over the place. Be okay. Now I want to finish this video just for the principle of it, right? Because I started it and I don't want to stop. So, we have to combine some integers here. We're going to do 6 and 7 together. Sorry, we had to take a quick break for a bleeding student, but that's okay. I'm going to highlight all my negatives. That's too big. So you just go wash it out, some soap and water, you'll live. Did you get any blood anywhere, like on my stuff? I don't know. I mean, okay. If you got on other kids' stuff, then that's okay. Just let me know if you got on mine. Okay, so what I've done here is now I've grouped together my positives and my negatives. My positives and my negatives. My positives and my negatives. Okay, so my positives on number 6, 3, and 6. Not a whole lot going on there. My negatives, I have a 2, a 9, a 2, and a 1. Okay, and then for 7, my positives, I've got a 9, a 13, a 7. Remember, that's got a plus sign in front of it. My negatives, I got a 4, a 12, and a 7. Okay, as I'm going through this, if you guys want to cross these off to make sure that you're using all of them, that might not be a bad idea so you don't leave any out. And then now we just have to go through and we have to total these up. Think about it as Minecraft. You've got a chest of cobblestone, and then in the little squares, there's 3 of them, there's 6 of them. You double click on it, click, click. How many total cobblestones would we have? Well, we'd have 9. Right, so that means of the integers listed in that expression, there are 9 total positives. We're going to do the same thing for these negatives. I'm going to do all 4 of them because it's the same step 4 times. 2, 9, 2, and 1. Well, I'm going to click, click. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I have net 14 negative integers. Okay, I'm gonna just do the same step on both these problems at the same time. There are my positive integers. Remember, it's a 9, a 13, and a 7. That's a positive 29. So that means there are 29 total integers. I click, click. Cobblestone, 9, 13, and 7 come together in one square. They make 29. The negative integers, negative 23. 3. Right, so 12, 34, 16, 23. Okay, like literally about 45 more seconds, okay? You guys can't really be with me because I can't put this up there. So just 45 more seconds. Okay, so now on both 6 and 7, I have grouped the, well, remember this is the title of the lesson, right? Combining integers. So I've combined my positive and negative integers. Now I just have to figure out if they were to line up, if they were to fight each other, who would win. Or really, if you want to think about it from 0, right, you have this problem now, 9 minus 14, negative 14 plus 9. I like to think about that as going left 14 and then right 9, which really is just 14 minus 9 over here on our negative side of the number line. But the best way for me to explain how to do it with no math at all, take the bigger number, right? And I say bigger, meaning absolute value, right? Ignoring the signs. Which is bigger, 9 or 14? 14. So that one you're going to write down first. Subtract the smaller one. 14 minus 9, use your fingers if you need to, you get 5. Now that's our answer, but we have to make sure that we put a negative sign there if it's negative. And to answer that, come back and look at your 2 groups of integers. If the negative one's bigger, then your answer is negative. So for that, you would put a negative sign. Number 6, you would want negative 5. For number 7, we're looking at these 2 integers. 29 and 23, 29 is the bigger one. It's 29 minus 23. It's going to give you 6. So that's your answer. Now we need to decide if it's 6 or negative 6. My 2 integers, this time the positive one is bigger. So I'm going to leave that 6 as a positive 6. Okay. Decimals, good luck. Good luck.